Oh, chat. You know how every time I start one of these, I always have something to say, even Click Clips channel, whatever, because I click start recording, right? Every time I start one of these, I always remember a comment I saw talking about, oh, this, that, or the other, like a complaint about the channel. The most recent one was this is a crazy scenario too, because there's been videos where I haven't done this, but it was a complaint talking about some oh yeah, how you do a reaction video, you didn't shout out the channel. Swear on everything I love, the first sentence of the video was me saying who it was. Shout out to JxmyHighroller, it wasn't him the last time, but shout out to him. Can you buy an NBA championship? I don't know if this even relates. I don't even know what this even means, but screw it. I did come up with one question though I thought of after reading this title, and it is what if you had to pick one NBA ring from a player to buy ever, like any single, and that might be what the basis is. I don't know. I didn't watch it yet, but if you had to pick a ring to buy, what would it be? Any ring. Might have to think about it.
Here are your 2022 NBA champion Golden State Warriors.
Thank you.
Question. Can you buy wins in the NBA? If a team spends enough money.
It is loud. Am I tweaking? Oh, did I turn on my, I think I turned on my volume for my, oh snap. Oh no, never mind. It was just really loud. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah.
Will it inevitably lead them to a title? I ask these questions because a couple
Let me know how
weeks
it
ago,
sounds, because it's very loud on mine.
had signed their up-and-coming star Jordan
Well, it's okay
Poole
now.
to a 4-year extension worth $123 million. And then shortly after, it was announced that Andrew Wiggins also agreed to a 4-year extension with the Warriors for $109 million. Two 9-figure deals dished out on the same day by the same team. But neither Poole or Wiggins are the highest paid players on the Warriors.
Obviously.
That would be Stephen Curry.
Indeed.
Who's also the highest paid player in the entire NBA. And then Klay Thompson, and then Draymond Green, and then Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. Just these 5 players combined will make a mind-boggling $174 million in the 2023-2024 NBA season. For perspective, when the Warriors assembled
the Big Five,
the greatest team ever in 2017,
well, it is 2017.
the entire team had a payroll of just $101 million.
It was 2017. Obviously, I know, bro. It's a video. I'm not like saying, oh, you're incorrect. It was 2017. This isn't valid. It was 6 years ago, but trying to think of what I remember. Steph, I believe he had obviously got his contract extension by this point, or got to re-up it on his contract. But I remember for a long time he had signed an extension in like 2012 or 2013 because he was injured early on. He had signed an extension with them, and it was a very, very cheap extension, an extension to where he was making less than like Bogut and David Lee and I feel like one other really crazy one for like the majority, and Iguodala, of course, for the majority of like the first couple of years of his prime. I think it was less than 15 to 17. I think it was like 8. Double D, you are here.
The Warriors are handing out more
it's 2017
than any other team.
Wait. Happy birthday, Double D. No, I see you. I don't know how old you are, old man, but I saw that. Double D, token Warriors fan, here for the the Warriors segment of the video.
The best team in the league, and so far it's looking like a great investment. So I'll ask again: can you buy a championship in the NBA? Well, there's really only one way to find out.
Oh man!
Today's video is brought to
fantastic.
And in his first season with the team, he made $14.5 million from his NBA salary.
Wait, can we go back a little bit?
Back in 2010, LeBron James joined the Miami.
Yeah, 11 mil. Yeah, that's what I thought.
The best player on the planet. And in his first season with the team, he made $14.5 million.
And why he got the Drake the Motto type beat in the background?
This was a nice big contract for the league's premier superstar. But times have changed.
Indeed. Dang, Jokic is that. Oh, it's because he just got his extension. Randall, Simons, Jeremy Grant, Bojan, Lonzo, Miles Turner. Are these all players that were higher paid than LeBron? Yeah. Okay. Yep.
102. There are 102 NBA players who will make more money this season than a prime LeBron James made a decade ago. Part of this is due to inflation, but mainly this is due to the fact that the NBA simply generates far more revenue than it did back then. But throughout NBA history, teams have been willing to pay an insane amount of money to have a chance at a championship. In Michael Jordan's last season with the Bulls, MJ was paid, quite possibly, the most amount of money relative to his peers in the history of sports.
Yeah, no,
In the
Jordan had some crazy.
1997-1998
Was it?
NBA season, Michael Jordan made
I was just about to say 30.
$33.14 million from his NBA salary. By himself, MJ made more money than the combined team salaries of 19 other NBA teams that season. His contract was so massive that the league implemented a maximum salary rule the following season, which prevented teams from paying the equivalent of an entire
The 1990 deal.
roster's payroll to one single player.
The 1999 deal contained 3 new cost controls: a luxury tax for high-spending teams, an escrow tax that capped the player's share of revenue, and for the first time, a cap on individual player salaries. Initially, $9 million to $14 million. Michael Jordan. Oh wow. Wait, so there was no max? So the concept of a max contract did not exist until 1999. That's kind of crazy. So Jordan, they were just like, yo. So like, how would you feel if you? Because hey, shout out to Mike then, because Mike got the bag because he said, yo, I'm Mike, bro. Like I can, like I'm yo, because I feel like any other team would also offer that for Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of other teams would offer that for Michael Jordan. As long as they had the money available, which I would assume most teams didn't, assuming that the salary cap was pretty low at the time, like league-wide or team-wide, franchise-wide, the salary cap was pretty low. I'd assume that most teams had already locked up money to players, but if a team had $30 million, they probably would offer it to Jordan. And that's crazy because I believe, not total, but that was like, that would have been, because I remember in 2016, I think Mike Conley signed for $26 million a year, and that was like the most luxurious contract in NBA history. But I think it was because of the total amount of money, because obviously, I mean, Jordan literally made more 20 years earlier. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah, Magic got a bad deal for 10 years. They had him signing baseball contracts. They had him signing, selling their souls.
Player. Even by today's standards, this is a giant one-year salary. But if we adjust for inflation and total revenue driven by the league, Jordan's 1998 salary would be the equivalent of an NBA player making approximately $120 million this season, which makes the contracts of even the highest paid players today look like an absolute bargain. It's insane. I know, but it's true. The man was very
If there was no salary cap today, I'm sorry, but if there was no salary cap today, that'd just be crazy. Like, no, my bad. Not no salary cap. No player max contract. No max contract. There's no maximum to contracts. You could just pay anything. Oh my God. Ooh.
And this massive contract would prove to be well worth the investment. The Bulls needed Michael, and they also knew that
because that would have been a revolutionary move rather than a move that resulted in a rule change. You know what I'm saying? It would have been you can't join the set. Hey, I don't know, bro. Hey, ask Ahmad or something.
On the roster was the closest thing to a guarantee.
I'll fix it afterwards, but not right now.
So they paid up and were rewarded for doing so. But in today's NBA, a league that's crowded with talent, 9-figure contracts being handed to players coming off the bench, is it possible to buy your way to a championship? If a team is willing to pay a hefty luxury tax and spend more than market value for the available talent, does that guarantee success? Well, first, let's look at the teams that actually won championships throughout the years and how much they spent on their roster. Last season, the Warriors won the championship, and wouldn't you know it, they had the highest payroll in the entire NBA. In 2021, the Bucks won the championship, and they did not have the highest payroll in the entire NBA. In fact, among all teams that won a championship over the last 30 seasons, only 5 championship teams had the largest payroll in the NBA.
Paying a man $30 million, Kobe, N-Pow, paying a man paying a lot of people a lot of money, paying 3 dudes max contracts. And then this team is like the result, which I'm actually, that's crazy. They didn't, who was the highest back in these days? Was it like the Rockets or something, 2018? It had to be someone like that, Rockets or, no, it couldn't have been the Cavs though, I don't think, because they traded Kyrie. Yeah. Russ and Harden. Yeah. Oh, was that this year? Was that 20? I don't know if that was 2018. No, I think that was still Chris Paul, but yeah, close enough. Yeah, Harden and Paul. Nash and Paul. Must see TV.
Yeah. When looking at the numbers, there's actually almost no correlation to
Oh yeah, Russ was on the Wizards. LOL. No, Russ was on the Thunder.
how much a team is willing to spend and whether they win the championship or not. Sure, teams with some of the cheapest rosters virtually never win, but teams that have some of the most expensive rosters also don't win the majority of the time either. And surprisingly, 8 of the last 30 championship teams had a total team salary that was cheaper than the average team salary in the league at the time.
Yo, going number 15 and number 1 in 1 year with the exact same roster relatively is crazy. They're going number 15 and number 1 just because that's the year they said, yo, Mike, take everything.
Craziest example of this
it's like they got robbed.
1995 when the Rockets won the championship despite having the 4th cheapest payroll in the entire league. Money can buy good players, but it can't prevent injuries, locker room issues, unforeseen circumstances, and it certainly cannot buy a championship.
I think it was Miami.
But what about wins? Does spending far more money than other teams equate to winning more games than other teams? Well, last season, the Lakers had a team payroll of $164 million. And they won just 33 games.
Indeed.
That same season, the Grizzlies won 56 games and had a team payroll of just $117 million. The Lakers spent
that has to do with Westbrook, though.
$50 million more than the Grizzlies just to not even make the playoffs. But this is an extreme example of team payrolls not quite converting to wins. So here's a graph of every NBA team last season with team payroll on the left and total wins on the right. And if you look,
and Grizzlies are the lowest. Oh wait, Thunder.
Actually, a subtle correlation between how much
I want to see when he gets to the Thunder
in a season and how many wins they pile up. These teams spent less money and won fewer games. These teams spent more money and won more games. But there's no exact science here. For example, the Thunder spent about 45 cents on their roster last season and still won more games than the Rockets,
Thank you,
Pistons,
Forms.
and Magic. The Phoenix Suns spent a little bit more than the league average on their roster last season, and they won by far the most games in the regular season. But generally speaking, spending more money does in fact yield more wins for any given team. But far more often, it will not yield a championship. That, however, has not stopped teams from trying. Back in 2005, New York Knicks owner James Dolan went all in and spent a criminal $124 million on the Knicks roster.
It was like a washed power forward, Stephon Marbury. What year did he say? It could have been Penny Hardaway, Steve Francis, Eddie Curry, Tim Thomas.
That season, the salary cap at the time was $46 million. So with the roster payroll that dwarfed the league's salary cap, Dolan paid the league a mind-numbing $62.3 million in luxury tax.
That's crazy, bro. Yo, you were 62 million. I don't know about in debt, but holy hell. Imagine waking up thinking that. He pulled the yay.
In hopes that his wealth would grant him basketball immortality.
Oh, he did all that for Channing Frye.
The Knicks finished the season with just 23 wins and the worst record in the Eastern Conference. Money cannot buy you an NBA championship. But the goal isn't just.
But he definitely bought the wrong play. Let's pause. But he definitely. Hang on, I see why they changed the word owner now. $1 million
in luxury.
Wait, what year was it?
Mind-numbing. The roster pay season. The 100 owner James. That, however, has not stopped teams from trying. Back in 2005, New York Knicks.
2004, 2005, 2005, 2006. One of those years. I gotta see. Hold on. I gotta see real quick. I got to see the exact players. We're about to do some JxmyHighroller Knicks contracts. They should have it on Spot Track or something of that nature. Hoops Hype. Let's see. I don't. It doesn't look like it's. Oh. Wait, was it 100? Was it the year that was 102 million? Or was it? No, I think it was 120. The year before they spent 102. Is it this one? Let me see. Yes, it was this one. Okay. Hold on. 1 second. Dang. They over hit me with crazy ads right now. Hold on 1 second. Pause on. And here we are. Okay. Boom. The Knicks payroll, the players they paid this season. Okay, Allen Houston, who barely had legs anymore by this year. Stephon Marbury, yes. Anthony Hardaway, yes, I was correct. Antonio Davis, Maurice Taylor, Shandon. I bet if you looked up all these guys, probably 2 of them averaged over 10 points per game, if maybe 3. Eddie Curry, Quentin Richardson. Yeah, that's a solid one though. But he was young. Jerome Williams, he wasn't that young. Jerome Williams, Jamal Crawford, Malik Rose, Jerome James, Channing Frye, Nate Robinson, David Lee at under $1 million, who would end up being far and away, at least over the next decade, the best player from this team. And then Matt Barnes at, I think he might have been on like a 10-day or something. Yeah, that's insane. That is insanity.
Immortality.
That's really funny,
it
though.
Did not. The Knicks finished the season with just 23 wins and the worst record in the Eastern Conference. Money cannot buy you an NBA championship. But the goal isn't just to spend as much money as possible. The goal is to sign the best, most cohesive players money can buy to your roster.
Oh.
Which in its very nature leads to spending more money. For this exact reason, the rookie contract is by far the most valuable deal in the NBA. Last season, players like Darius Garland and Trae Young were all-star caliber talents for the small price equivalent to that of a bench warmer. Thanks to his rookie contract, Luka Doncic was named
and Desmond Bane's all-star caliber this year, and he's still on his contract.
Being the 126th highest paid player in the NBA,
Price.
behind players like Al-Farouq Aminu, Rashawn Holmes, and Jeremy Lamb.
Thank God, though, they do have the guaranteeing of contracts because, like, God forbid, let's say Luka got injured in year 3, and thankfully he signed his contract already. I think right before year 4 started it. So that at least we got that. At least we got that.
Of how much every NBA player is paid relative to how
it's like he was already guaranteed. He already knew he was going to be making $200 million even if he just stops playing.
But it does the job. Now, in a perfect world, every player would be paid exactly what they were worth, which hypothetically is this line right here. But of course, this is rarely the case. Jonas Valanciunas and Daniel Theis are examples of two players who get paid exactly what they're worth statistically. Their teams are literally and statistically getting what they paid for. Now, most NBA players fall right here. Role players, rookies, young unproven talent, guys like that. Over here are the players who are grossly underpaid, usually rookies stuck on their first contract waiting to cash in once it expires. Here's Trae Young, here's Luka Doncic,
Dwight Powell,
and here's Mikal Bridges. These are the contracts owners and GMs dream of. Overall, players below this line would be considered underpaid.
Mikal would already have his contract.
This line would be considered overpaid. Despite being the 4th highest paid player in the NBA last season, Russell Westbrook didn't offer much from a winning perspective, which resulted in him landing here. According to the numbers, and injured players aside, the most overpaid players in the league last season were Russell Westbrook, Kemba Walker, and Blake Griffin. Their impact on winning is slightly above that of an average player.
Hey,
but they're all
trust and believe. I know. Although that's from last season, Kemba Walker, we didn't pay him that money. Hey, the Thunder did. And Blake Griffin, actually, he didn't get paid that money. The Pistons did. Only guy on here getting he got paid the money, but only guy on here actually getting paid the money from his franchise and the cap hitting him and actually, being in contention because the Thunder weren't and neither were the Pistons. Russell Westbrook, the Lakers, they're paying him $46 million.
They're superstars. But
it looks like the most on this list.
That Giannis Antetokounmpo is overpaid, and yet he's way up here. Same goes with Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and LeBron James. In fact, most above average NBA players would be considered overpaid relative to the rest of the league because you're either good enough for ownership to keep you around, which allows you to make demands regarding your contract, or you're just below average, making you completely replaceable, virtually making it impossible to negotiate a decent contract, and you'll just take whatever you can get. There's hardly any middle.
You said A. Simmons' contract? Technically, he'd be right here because he didn't play a game. He wouldn't. Or actually, I guess at 0, he didn't play a game, so he'd be at 0 win shares. He's probably he's gonna be somewhere around here or whatever.
Ground here, and the Warriors are a glaring example of this. Since after re-signing Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins, the Warriors' Big Five land here. And this right here perfectly summarizes the financial aspect of the NBA. Kevin Durant did not contribute 3 times as much to the Nets last season as, let's say, DeJounte Murray did to the Spurs last season. And yet, KD made 3 times as much as Murray did. Because when a player reaches a certain level of excellence, there is no formula to how much they're worth. You don't bargain with these players, and you certainly do not
what they're capable of.
Your chances at a title. You simply pay them whatever they want, and you count your blessings. But according to the rules, the Warriors can only pay Steph so much. Thanks to Michael Jordan, his NBA salary has a very finite ceiling. But the rest of the money can go to every other player that helped them win a championship last season. Steph has reached a level in the NBA, and specifically within the Warriors franchise, where he can demand virtually any dollar amount, and it would be completely justifiable. Steph could ask the Warriors for $150 million a year, and if it wasn't for the maximum salary rule, Joe Lacob would be so eager to get him his money, he wouldn't be able to pull out his checkbook fast enough. Similar to what the Bulls did with Michael Jordan in his last few seasons with the team, the Warriors are going all in with Curry. They know that as long as he's in his prime, they have a damn good shot at winning another title. They've got their hands on one of the greatest players of all time and a supporting cast that complements his skill set better than anything they could have imagined. So if it means paying a young Jordan Poole one of the biggest contracts in the entire NBA, paying an aging Draymond Green more money than any other team would offer, and paying Andrew Wiggins exactly what he asked for, it's all worth it. Is any player overpaid if they play a crucial role in winning a championship? It's tough to call anyone overpaid if they were a vital component to winning that banner that hangs in your rafters. And they give your team a legitimate opportunity to hang another one. Because of the maximum salary rule, Steph will never get paid truly what he's worth. But that doesn't mean the Warriors can't spend the money in other places. Now, you know you're good when you get paid, but you know you're great when you get other people paid. And because of Steph's impact, his whole squad is laughing to the bank. Because
he dropped a Jay-Z bar on him.
Them, the Warriors cannot buy a championship, but that won't stop them from trying.
He dropped the Dame made millions and made millions and made millions. Y'all got him in their feelings. I'm back in my bag. Nah, the Curry thing though, what he said that Curry will never get what he's worth. He'll never get what he's worth relative to Michael Jordan. But I mean, I know he's just fine with getting 50 million, but I also think it's way cooler now that all these players are making that much, because at the end of the day, every single person is getting generational wealth. So that's cool. Because like if there was no salary cap, or if there was no player max contract, there wouldn't be no there would be no money for anybody else. They'd all be getting, Andrew Wiggins would be working a side job if yeah. That was a great JxmyHighroller video though. Ron got Timofey Mozgov paid. Yeah, he did. Did Timofey get traded though before? Did Timofey get traded to the Nuggets? Or was that? No, it was. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you are right. Timofey wasn't was he starting? Or was Tristan starting? I don't. Yeah, him and Curry got McGee paid though. JaVale was winning. JaVale was doing nice on both of them teams, on the Warriors and the Lakers. Gary Harris was still in the league. Jokic got that man paid, I guess. Not Jokic wasn't as dominant back then, but yeah. Yeah, I remember I don't know. I get you, just never gonna be worth it. He was starting in certain games. He got 4 years. Yeah, he was he got 4 years, 6. Oh, I know what he got. Oh, I know he went to LA. Oh, I know. Yeah. Man. Oh yeah. That dude Matt Ryan, who just hit the game winner or game tire, and then eventually they won the game, I believe, for the Lakers the other day. That man was a DoorDash driver. He like literally was a DoorDash driver like a couple of years ago. So that was an interesting story. But shout out to JxmyHighroller. Legendary.